Hello, sixth grade and eighth grade. What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. I hope you all are doing well and that you're having a very good Holy Week with your families this week. I wish we were in church. We would be in Mass together every day, but let's do some learning. So today you're going to play this video at the same time as you do the work. The point is that it's kind of like we're in the classroom and I'll give you instructions. You'll pause the video, follow the instructions, and then play to continue. Starting off, you're going to be on the home page of your Google Classroom. You're going to select classwork, and then we're going to look. Today is the 8th of April. So we're going to go to April 8th, and that's what we're going to open. You should have already done April 6th and April 7th. They are due at midnight on the day that's listed here. So 4/7, that was due at midnight yesterday. Today's work is due at midnight today. And you're simply going to open up our guided activity lesson here. We're going to follow along with this to do all of our work with me playing the part of your internet teacher. Hey, okay. First thing we're going to do is the same thing we always do. You are going to do the do now, which on your paper is right here in this top row. You're going to be writing 4 or more complete sentences to finish this story. It started off like a normal Wednesday. When I walked into the kitchen, I noticed how the ground creaked under me. It doesn't usually do that. I crouched down and I pressed the floor with my hand. The floor instantly opened up and there was a hidden box. I opened the box up and this is where you pause the video and go ahead and answer your do now. Press play when you're done. Okay, I'm assuming you pressed play. I just kind of sat here for a second. Thinking maybe you paused it. I bet you did. Amazing. Sixth grade, I got to give you a shout out. You guys have gotten so much engagement with me this week. It's really increased. Eighth graders, I was thrilled to see some of you on the Google Classroom this week that haven't been on there yet. I cannot wait till we get to 100%. I have some great surprises for you guys when we hit that 100% point. First, let's take a quick second looking at our vocab, starting with eighth grade. Eighth grade, yesterday you did page 143, numbers 1 through 10. Today's answers are number 1, appease, number 2, delve, number 3, regaled, number 4, conventional, number 5, mediate, number 6, decoys, number 7, outlandish, number 8, gallantry, number 9, milieu, number 10, impart. Eighth graders, you can pause this video now. You're going to start doing page 144, numbers 11 through 20. Sixth graders, reviewing yesterday's correct answers, page 143. Number 1, rend. Number 2, amble. Number 3, ingrained. Number 4, prevails. Number 5, vandalism. Number 6, replenish. Number 7, rummage. Number 8, sleuths. Number 9, inevitable. Number 10, burly. Sixth graders, you're now going to pause this video and do page 144, numbers 11 through 20. When you are ready for our next activity, please press play. All right, I'm guessing you just pressed play. Next part of our activity. So you guys finished vocab. You're going to highlight that section. You're going to use the highlighter and make it green for me, okay? Notice how that is different from just changing the font to green. That's no good. I want you to use the highlighter so you can learn to use that skill, okay? Next up, we are going to talk about mentor text, and we're going to start brainstorming to write our own story. Yesterday, you guys showed off your knowledge about the different times to start a paragraph when you're writing, and also about the 5 characteristics that a narrative needs to have. I want to give you a quick refresher here and then some new information. Remember, we are writing personal narratives. So there's 3 options, and the ones we're going to be doing are personal. And a personal narrative is when a writer shares a true story from their own life. So that is what we're going to work on today. There are 5 parts of a narrative. Who can tell me one of the parts? Pariah. Yes. Setting. Good job. Who can tell me a second part? Riley. Characters, very good. A third part. Let me hear it, Joaquin. The plot, good. A fourth part, who's got this one? Randy? Point of view, nice. And who knows the final, the fifth part of this? Haley, it is dialogue. Very, very good. What we're going to look at today is a mentor text. This text is a mentor text. That means that we're going to read it and we're going to make ours similar to it. This is like an example of what an amazing personal narrative looks like to help us set the expectations of what ours will look like. I'm going to read this to you. Please read along with me. And please think about how you're going to want your story to look just like this. Look at the dialogue, the capitalization, the characters, the plot, the setting, all of the point of view, all right? It's all important. This mentor text is called Fun Phobia, and it's by someone named Tom Curran. For several weeks every summer, I was miserable. I would awaken each night from a deep sleep, sweaty and scared. Nightmares plagued me. I lost so much sleep that dark rings formed around my eyes. It was only during the summer that I was plagued by dark nightmares, all because summer was roller coaster season. This phobia didn't interfere with my everyday tasks. It's not like there's a roller coaster on every corner. But every summer when my family and I took our annual trip to Six Flags, it was the same song and dance. I would be too scared to ride the roller coasters, and I would find myself sitting on a hot bench with my mother while my older brother gleefully ran from one coaster to the next. There were a few times that I bravely got in the coaster line, determined to ride. Then my mind would freeze at the thought of being stuck hundreds of feet in the air with nowhere to go but down. And I would have to get off the line and go sit on my bench of shame. I became the butt of my brother's jokes. They'd make comments like, skip the park and head on over to KFC because all you are is a big chicken. Leave Tommy alone, my mother would say. She may have thought that she was coming to my rescue, but it just added to my embarrassment. Finally, one summer, I just became sick and tired of the fear that was ruining my trip to the park, and I decided that the best way to get over this fear was by going on the biggest, baddest roller coaster that there is. It was time to face my fears and show my brothers and myself that I could do it. I could ride Nitro. My brilliant plan was to preoccupy myself by wearing my iPod while I waited online, so I would be too distracted to be scared. As I waited, Aerosmith blasted through the earbuds, and I struggled to focus on the music. Before I knew it, I was sitting next to my brother. As the roller coaster began to go up, I was absolutely terrified. I had made a huge mistake. Then the roller coaster shot down the track. It moved so fast that I could feel the skin pulling tightly on my cheeks, and I realized it felt awesome. Flying at speeds like that was nothing I had ever experienced. After it was over, I couldn't even remember what I was worried about to begin with. I couldn't wait to go on one again. Not only did going on the roller coaster help me face my fears and gain the respect of my brothers, it also gave me a new hobby that I love. Oh, and I'm certainly sleeping better too. So guys, that was a great example of our mentor text. There was dialogue. It answered the question I'm going to ask you. It tells a story. And notice how clear it is. There's description and there's figurative language, and it's all about one thing. He doesn't go all over the place. His whole narrative is about the roller coasters. So let's see what we're going to look at next. We are going to talk about gathering our ideas because today we're going to start the process of writing our own. Let's read together, please. Gathering ideas for your personal narrative will actually be easier than you think. After all, the subject you know most about is you. In fact, you are the leading expert. By thinking about events that are hard to forget or are important, even in a small way. Begin by thinking about, Your personal narrative doesn't have to be about a major life-changing event. Sometimes the best personal stories are about experiences that begin and end quickly. They might have a soft conflict. This means that the main event is important because the author learned from it, and the focus is on the event and not on a terrible problem. Try using some of the prompts below and make a quick list of the important facts related to that idea. Once you're satisfied with your brainstorming, you can fill out a plot map. So I turned this exact worksheet right here into your worksheet on the Google Drive. So if you look, each one of those bubbles is right here as a sentence starter. I want you to change the font color, and I want you to finish that sentence. So the scariest thing that ever happened to me was when Mr. Todd got in his bike accident last June. I'll never forget the time. I'll never forget the time we went to North Bay and had mass on the beach. I learned an important lesson when, man, this is such a good one too. I learned an important lesson when I was a kid when I lied to my mom. About something my brother did, but I actually wasn't helping him. I really put him in more danger by lying for him. Let's see, next one. And again, you guys are writing your own answers. These are just mine as an example. I was so embarrassed when, oh guys, I was so embarrassed when I played, I'm going to tell you a real one. I played kitty soccer until I was 10. And in almost every game, I scored on the wrong goal. Like all the time, guys. I always just, why do they have to switch which goal you're going for? I don't. The funniest thing that ever happened to me was, what was the funniest thing that's ever happened to me? I don't know, but I feel like it would involve something with Miss Sanborn. We have lots of fun memories together. I don't know. I'm going to keep brainstorming on that one. That's such a good question. Last one. People might be surprised to know. People might be surprised to know that I didn't like to read until I was around 17 years old. So you're going to do exactly what I just did. You're going to brainstorm the answers to those sentences. And then these instructions say, highlight your favorite one of your ideas. That's going to be the story that you're going to tell. There's no changing your story after you choose doing this today. So make sure that you're sure about it, okay? Make sure you have enough details and memories to make it good. You can write about this crisis we're in right now. If you scroll up just a little bit, the prompt that you're going to write about is here. You're going to write about something that happened in your life that you want other people to learn from, okay? If I was choosing right now, I would say that I'm going to tell my story about when Mr. Todd got in the bike accident. So I'm going to highlight that because that's what I pick. The reason I picked that story is because it has lots of details. It's still fresh in my mind. It was less than a year away. And because I think it can teach people a lot about resilience and helping each other and wearing helmets and all kinds of important things like that. So the last thing I'm going to ask you guys to do is to determine the setting, background information, characters, and conflict. For me, the setting is going to be Philadelphia. It's going to be a pothole on 33rd Street and the emergency room. Background information is Miss Carol and Mr. Todd were riding bikes to go see his aunt in the hospital. It was a sunny, clear day. We were having fun. Mr. Todd didn't have a helmet on. The characters are going to be myself, Mr. Todd, and probably the doctors that helped us. And the conflict is going to be Mr. Todd's injury and how that was really, really scary for both of us. So finally, you're going to go ahead and make a bullet point list of everything that happened from the beginning to the end. So first, we decide to bike ride We went down on Kelly Drive. We carried our bikes up the stairs. We drove with the cars. Mr. Todd hit the pothole. I got scared. We went to the hospital. Right, and so you guys could imagine if I wasn't typing this while you wait for me, I could probably list out all the events that happened, maybe 15 or 16 of them. And then we're going to use that tomorrow to start writing our narratives. After you finish, there's a lot of typing in this document y'all are going to be doing today. After you have finished all of it, you must click turn in on this assignment. I am not checking it or grading it if you didn't click turn in because it's so easy to click turn in. There's no reason you shouldn't be doing it, okay? If you have questions or concerns, you know that you can hit me up whenever. Send me a Jupiter message, send me an email, or you can send me a text message if your parent feels comfortable sharing my phone number with you guys. Love you. Can't wait to see the work that you produce. And I'm proud of all of you for staying so strong and being your powerful selves during these times. I can't wait to look at your faces again. Bye, y'all.